think it's a safe statement to say that what separates the pros from the amateurs when it comes to lean manufacturing is the level of participation, the level of engagement, the level of involvement of the workforce. And we know from looking at the literature that there are companies out there that get 1 or 2 or 3 suggestions every month from every employee. So depending, of course, on the size of the company, that's 10 or hundreds or thousands sometimes of suggestions for improvement every month. And on the other hand, we know that there are some companies, there are probably a lot more of these, that get almost nothing.
As a matter of fact, when we work with our clients in projects like TPM, Total Productive Management, or training Kaizen leaders, what we aim for is 10 suggestions, 10 implemented suggestions per employee per year. That's the number we go after. Now, take a minute and ask yourself, how many suggestions are you getting per employee per year at your company? So, what we're looking for here is to set our company up to always be ahead of the competition.
So here's what we would suggest in terms of setting up the system. It's basically a suggestion system we're talking about, but maybe with a few twists. Because I know that many of you have probably tried these things before, setting up suggestion systems or a suggestion box, and really getting very little response. So here are a few ideas for you in terms of making this a success. Number 1, you need to emphasize with the workforce, we're looking for small ideas. We're not looking for things that are going to change your life necessarily, because there aren't that many of those huge, big ideas. We're looking for a lot of small improvement suggestions. So that makes it easier for people to come up with ideas instead of thinking they have to be a hero or suggest nothing. The other thing is, you probably have had the experience, we all have, of suggesting something and it just disappears. You don't hear anything back. It goes into the black hole of suggestions. Or the suggestion box has no bottom. It goes right into a shredder, or sometimes feels that way. So we want to have a process in place that guarantees or ensures that within a short period of time, say 24 hours, the person who submitted the idea gets some feedback. And that feedback could be a yes, it could be a no, it could be a maybe, could we change things, but there's some feedback that comes very quickly, and that's very reinforcing when you suggest something and you get some feedback.
That's going to require you to empower your line leaders and your supervisors, your first line folks, so they have the ability to authorize some of these projects within 24 hours. You really need to strive for quick response to these small projects.
Now here's another problem that happens with suggestions. People suggest things that someone else is going to do. So lots of ideas, but it's not for them to do, it's for the maintenance department to do or for management to do. And we want to steer people away from that as well and suggest things that they are going to do. They're small enough, simple enough, and in their area so that they can implement these themselves. So that would be a tremendous help instead of ending up with a burden really on the company of a lot of ideas that we can't act on and can't implement.
Have you ever heard the comment of you go to an employee on the floor and say, well, how about this idea? And the answer is, yeah, I suggested that a long time ago, but nobody ever came around to do it. Do you know how to do it? Oh, absolutely. It's easy. Let me show you. And by the time the conversation is done, the idea has been implemented. You really need to open up some of your doors, some of those doors, so people can be empowered and make those changes.
Right. Last comment, let's keep track of this. Let's keep a log, let's keep a database, so that as ideas come in, we record them. As they get acted upon, we can record completion. We want to show that we're heroes, basically, so we can't do that as easily if we don't have the data. So let's set up, could be a spreadsheet or it could be something more sophisticated to really track our continuous improvement efforts.
Absolutely. And what we have done with some of our clients is to basically set up a log where all the suggestions are captured, and over time some of the Kaizen leaders bid for the idea. If they are certified Kaizen leaders, they have to maintain a certain level of activity to keep their certification, and they bid on some of those projects and they carry them out. Another good way to shine a light on some of these opportunities for improvement is, once the project is complete, develop a one-point lesson, one-page lesson, in which the entire project is on one page, where you show the previous state, they, after Kaizen state, and a quick description of the benefits. Have lots of those in the cafeteria, in your Kaizen board, everywhere. They will encourage people as they see that their neighbor, their buddy, just had a couple of those implemented. People like to be recognized.
Now, before we leave you, here's one more idea for you upper managers in a company. Here's another idea for soliciting ideas, getting ideas out, and getting them implemented. Take 1 hour per week for every zone of interest, for every area of in the company that is really working on the same goal. Get these people together 1 hour a week, and do it every week, week after week, 1 hour a week, to talk about nothing but how do we improve the process, or how do we improve the department. And that way, as a group, then, you can do some brainstorming. And sometimes you get a lot more ideas as a team than you do asking individuals to come up with ideas. But make it a discipline. So if you have 10 departments in your company that you're responsible for, that would be 10 hours a week that you would be dedicating to hosting those kind of meetings. But well worth it, guarantee you.
Absolutely. One of our clients, they really, this particular manager really took this idea as her own and started every Friday at lunchtime, got her entire team together, and these brainstorming sessions, she started calling those Fix It Fridays. So they got together, brainstormed, and right now they are so far ahead of any national standard for some of the metrics they chase. Is just incredible. Try it. The investment is minimal, and it will pay dividends big time. Thank you for your time.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you next time.